I came here and I started here in the spring of '57, and we had a kind of uneventful year that year. I was driving for somebody else, and partway through the year he wanted to sell the car, and so my father and I bought it, and that's why it's the number 98, because it was 98 when I bought it, and I just left it that way. And we improved a lot the following year, and we took the Sportsman Championship here. And I ran here off and on in other people's cars usually. I did run here a couple of years with my own car, and we used to change the rear end between Friday and Saturday night. We'd run Stafford on Friday night and then change the rear and come down here. We didn't have quick change then. We couldn't afford a quick change, but we had an awful lot of fun here. I wound up on my roof the first time here, and I've only been on my roof once since then, so.
That is remarkable for the number of laps that you've run, Ron. And some of them were pretty aggressive laps. I remember seeing them. Now you drove, as I recall, Sharkey's 44 here sometimes, didn't you?
When they had an open for modifieds here, I ran the 44 here a couple of times. I fell heir to the little number 4 Chrysler product that Sharkey ran here, and we tried running that for a season at Lebanon Valley against the Flatheads up there, and we were quite successful. We didn't win any features, but we ran good up there with it. And I ran his 44 to a track championship at Stafford on the dirt.
I see.
So.
I see. And I didn't realize that 1957 would have been the beginning of that 98 tradition that you and your dad.
Well, it was just that we bought the car, and it was 98, and I was driving it for this guy out of, he came from up here in Connecticut a little ways, and he just got to the point where he wanted it out, and so we bought it from him, and we just kept it. That's how 98 got going.
And then towards the 60s, you began going on with NASCAR tracks more, and you were with Stafford.
Well, when Stafford changed over, and left NASCAR, they stayed with NASCAR, but when they paved, I always felt that I was a better dirt driver than an asphalt driver. I didn't really care for the asphalt like I did the dirt, and so we kind of wandered out to Fonda and started running the NASCAR circuit out there. Fonda on Saturday nights, Albany, Saratoga, of course, was asphalt on Friday nights, and Utica Rome on Sunday nights. So we ran that 3-track circuit for a number of years.
And New England fans will forever remember you on Sunday afternoons at Thompson as well.
Oh yeah. Well, we went to, back then we hit everything we could hit, but
you sure did.
And we had a lot of fun.
The thing that was always so impressive about you, Ron, is that you always had these pea-shooter motors, 350s or 327s,
Yeah.
and somehow at the end of the feature there you were. And
Well,
you were just so popular.
Well, I don't know. I guess I wasn't a car owner's race driver. Being my own car owner, I guess a lot of times I drove like a car owner instead of a driver. And my son used to give me the business. Dad, you could have won that race. Yeah, but I could have been laying under the car all night again, patching it too. So this way I took my seconds and thirds and paid my tire bill, and
Well, I'm sure you did, but you definitely won the respect of the racing community, because some of your finest hours, of course, were because you were voted onto the All-Stars team, representing Fonda, I believe?
I represented Fonda 2 years. I took Pete Corey's place for the first year. It was going to be Wimble, Gahan, and Corey at the last minute stepped down, and I stepped in for him. And we won the team championship that year. And then we won it the second year with Lou Lazaro and Dick Clark and I. And then I was on the All-Star League, one of the All-Star League teams for 6 years, and we represented Albany, Saratoga a couple of years, and at the Speedway, Catamount Speedway for a couple of years, and so I just stayed with the All-Star League, and finally the last year I got as high as I ever got. I got second in points to Buzzy Ruderman, and I didn't mind taking second to him.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, as I recall, Ron, you moved up to New York State. And
yeah, we moved back up to New York State, where I had started my racing, Waterloo, New York, way back in the 52, and I took my old original car number, 5N, and I ran a car for Dick Mayer up there. And very first day they had time trials at Cayuga Speedway, Cayuga County Speedway, and we set fast time, first time in the car, and I was really all excited about that. My car owner says, "They got a big race down in Fonda tonight. The way we're running, we could go down there and really clean house." And I said, no, come on. We're sitting on a pole here tomorrow. You know, let's not take any chances. "Oh, no, we got to go to Fonda." So off we go to Fonda. First heat, middle of the back stretch, wipeout. Back to the drawing board. We put it all back together for the next day and got it up there to Weedsport, and at the pit meeting, they said, "Well, just so that this isn't going to be a runaway, we're going to invert the first 6 cars." And that put Will Cagle on the pole, naturally. And put me back in 6th. Well, going into the third turn on the second lap, I was under Louis, under Will, going for the lead. And Merv Treichler was trying to follow me through, and he got a little too close and spun me go into the infield. We did come back and get a third out of that, but that's probably the best finish we had while I was running dirt. I was consistently a top 5 car, but I never grabbed the feature after that. That was my last.
Well, I must say, Ron, that we sure are disappointed about the weather, because a lot of people wanted you to have a feature win today. Big old dirt car.
Yeah, that would have been.
Especially me, because it would have been my car.
wouldn't that have been something? A dirt car winning? No, we would have. I know we would have had a lot of fun, and it's just too bad for the management and for all the people that might have been here that probably aren't here today. That